In this video, I'd like to show you how to target a person. So we're going to start with literally just a name, just a person's name, and then we'll see how we can gather information about that person and then build up an attack strategy as well. And as we do that, I'm going to show you some more features of Maltego and how to configure a few more settings. So I'm going to start a new graph by clicking on the plus sign right here. I'm going to look for personal, and I'm going to look for a person. And right here we have a person entity. Now, as I said in this example, I'm going to assume that I have a target and I know their name. I know their first name and their second name. And again, that target is me, and my first name is Zaid and my second name is Sabi. So I'm going to go here on the property list. I'm going to set the first name, just double click it. I'm going to set it to Zaid, and then I'm going to set the surname to Sabi. And I'm just going to set this to capital. Doesn't really matter, but it just looks better. Now, let's see what information can we gather about this entity. Again, as usual, all we have to do is just right click it and see what we can get. So I'm already in the Patirva category. And I'm going to go to all transformers. And you can see we can get associated emails. We can transfer that we're already a person. We can try to get a phone number. We can try to get a Twitter account. You can try all of these. For now, I'm going to try to get a website or websites for this person. Now, this is going to ask you if you want to look for a specific domain name. I'm going to assume that I know nothing. So I'm just going to put a space in here in both entries. So that just means look up for any websites that are associated with this person. Now you can see that we managed to get a number of websites right here. And all of these websites are associated with Zaid Sabi. Now that doesn't really mean that these websites are actually associated with your target, because there could be another person named Zaid Sabi. So you'll have to go on each one of these and see which one is actually related to that person. For example, if we click on the Facebook here, I'm going to double click it to see what information is there. And I'm going to go on the properties. And you'll see that we have the Facebook URLs that are associated with that person, with that name. Now I'm going to copy all of these and I'm just going to put them in a text file so we can read them better. And you can see we have 3 profiles. Now, in a real life situation, you should be going into each of these profiles and see which one is actually related to your person. I'm not going to do that because the 3 of them are actually not related to me at all. So this is really not useful, and you'll just move in this case, you'll just come back, move into the next entity and see what's useful. And I highly recommend you delete the ones that are not useful, because they'll just make it harder to look through things. So you can just click it, press delete, and that'll delete it for you. Now the LinkedIn profile right here, again, you can double click it and see which profile it links you to. But again, it's not my own profile, and you can see that once you actually go to the URL. So for now, I'm just going to delete that. And you can see the rest of the stuff in here is actually all related to me. So it's all related to your target. And you can try and double click each one of them, go to the properties, look for the URL and open it in your browser. When you do that, you'll get the information that's related to that person. And hopefully it'll help you to form some sort of an attack strategy or help you get even more information. For now, because I've already looked on all of them, I'm going to focus on one of them, which is the Udemy link. So the information related to me on Udemy. I'm going to double click this like we did before. And I'm going to go on properties. And you can see that we have a URL or a description here. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put it in my text file right here. And I'm just going to copy the URL and open it in my browser right here. So you can see that this URL is related to our target person, and you can see that it's leading us to a course that's taught by myself. Now, this is not really useful. You can see that the target person is teaching online courses, whatever, not very useful. But if we go back and look at the other URL, so this had two URLs. If I scroll back to the left, we can see we have the first URL right here. And this URL is my profile URL. So I'm gonna copy it again and paste it in the browser. And you can see this is showing us the profile for the target person. You can see that it's the same name. You can see their picture, so you know this is your target. You can see a description about what they do, but you probably already know that. But you can see some useful stuff. For example, you can see that they used to work with a company called iSecurity. So again, you can go to what we did previously, research iSecurity, add their website as a target, and then gather all the information that we were able to do, and then use that to build up a strategy against Zaid. Now we're not going to do that because we've already done something like that. So we're going to try to see what other information we can get. What's really useful in here, we can see that the person is sharing a few links. So they're sharing their YouTube channel, they're sharing their LinkedIn profile, they're sharing their Facebook, and they're sharing their own blog. All of these, you can go ahead and browse all of these things to gather more information about that person. Now, you need to keep in mind that I'm setting my targets to myself, which is an aware person about computer and information technology. And even the target I targeted in my previous video, iSecurity, it's an information technology company. And even with that, we were able to gather so much information. So when you're targeting normal companies or normal people, it will be so much easier to get effective information. So right now, if you actually go look at the YouTube, look at the LinkedIn, and look at the Facebook, you really won't get much. Like even if you click on the Facebook, you'll see the Facebook won't lead you to anything. You need to log in. And even after logging in, you won't get too much useful information. What's useful in my case is if we go on the blog. And we're going to go to the About. And what's useful in this is we have the email address of the target person, and we have their Twitter account. So these information were not included on Udemy. And now we have two really useful pieces of information. So in the next video, we'll see how we can use this information to gather even more info about our target and hopefully be able to build up an attack strategy.